Oh man, my lens keeps... Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Leia if you're new here, and today we are going to be cooking mainly lunches. We're going to make a couple things for my husband, one thing for myself, just so we've got easy things to grab. Oh man, my lens keeps fogging up because it is storming. Let me show you. I actually have a sprinkler going right now because this was nowhere in the forecast. Even when it started rumbling, I checked the radar and nothing. Our little spot here in Virginia seems to be the center of pop-up thunderstorms. We just get them all the time out of nowhere. But my sprinkler's going. I need peppers from the garden, but I think they're gonna have to wait. Maybe this will stop soon. Today together we are going to cook a sausage and peppers for my husband's lunches. Oh no, the power's flickering. Is the power flickering or is this light just about to go out? Oh man, oh no. Maybe we won't be cooking anything. Okay, so we've got sausage and peppers, maybe. We have this ground chicken. We're just gonna do some taco seasoned ground chicken bowls. And then for myself, I'm going to do a vegetable soup that's cauliflower based. And then tonight for dinner, I'm gonna do chicken parm, but I'm not sure I will have a chance to film that. I have made that on a video here before. I'll try to find it. The first thing I decided to tackle is the ground meat because it's really easy and it's going to give us a quick win, and I wasn't sure at this point if my power was going to stay on. So I'm going to set up one of our cast iron pans here. To the pan, I'm going to add some avocado oil, and then I'm going to get my meat chopper out. This is one of my favorite kitchen tools for cooking ground meat, but I did just recently replace my plastic one with a stainless steel one because I have been learning all about microplastics. And I also have this taco seasoning here. This is a homemade blend. I can put it down below, but I just keep this in stock because it makes everything so much easier. Next, I'm going to prepare the peppers for sausage and peppers. I don't really like sausage and peppers, but it's one of my husband's favorite meals, so I'm always happy to make it for him for a lunch, and then it's the best of both worlds. We're both happy. So I am going to take the seeds out here, and these are peppers that we grew in our garden, which is really exciting. I was able to get out there. The storm did ease up, so I ran out and I picked a couple of these peppers real quick, and it's just so nice. If you go to the store and you try to buy organic bell peppers, it's just ridiculous. They're sometimes $2 or $3 a piece, and that's just a lot. It's a lot to spend on a single piece of produce. So I'm really thankful that these came through this year, and we still have quite a bit out there that needs to be preserved. We'll probably slice them up and freeze them for fajita nights. My pan is nice and hot now, so I'm going to come in here and break up this ground chicken. And if this were ground beef, I would wait to add the seasoning until the end because I would drain out the extra fat. But this chicken doesn't really have any fat to it, so I'm just going to grind it all up and then put the seasoning in. For the seasoning, I do about 3 tablespoons per 1 pound of meat. And in this video, I have a half tablespoon measure, so I did it 6 times. Going to get another cast iron set up for the sausage and peppers with a little bit of avocado oil and butter in it that we will saute everything in. And you might notice our daughter there, she is now crawling everywhere. So she was playing a game this night where she went back and forth between her dad and I in the living room. So it's really fun having her around. She just loves to explore now. And now that that is done, I'm going to get the pot out for the soup. Before I start the soup, I am going to prepare the sausage just because I don't want to burn the sausage and peppers. So this is an andouille sausage, and I'm just going to slice it on a bias. We get this brand from Azure, and we really like it because there's no like added nitrates, and the beef is also grass-fed, so it's a pretty high-quality product. Then I'm just going to start staging all of the ingredients we need for this soup. One of the things is going to be this grated carrot, and I really like this soup recipe because you basically just dump everything in all at once, which is fantastic when you're a mom with a lot going on. You just want to throw it all in there so you don't have to keep track of a bunch of different steps, you just want to get it done. So we're going to get all of our ingredients together and get this soup going. I'm going to start adding stuff into the pot now, but I do want to point out that as I started cooking this, it's been a long time since I've made it, and I realized that I did rearrange the recipe after a few times of making this because there's an easier way to do this. At a later step, it's going to have me prepare a roux, basically, with some butter and some flour to thicken the soup, and I just do that now. Do it before you put any vegetables in, and then you don't have to dirty up another pot. So I will do that again in the future. I just completely forgot about that on this night. So into the pot, I have added the cauliflower, the celery, the carrot, and then I'm going to add some vegetable bouillon cubes. And this is something I make at home. I mention this in a lot of my videos because I use it all the time when I cook. So I can try to link the video or the recipe or something down below so that if you're interested, you can go make those too because they are delicious and they make everything taste good. While that simmers, I am going to go back to the sausage and peppers and add some garlic in. These are prepared garlic pucks. I just took the pre-peeled garlic from Azure and I put them in a food processor and I froze them into these pucks. And they're super nice on a night like tonight. I don't have to fuss with peeling garlic and chopping it and all that stuff. So that is going to simmer and break down, and I'm going to prepare the cheese for the soup. I can't remember exactly how much the recipe says, but I just chopped this much off, and this is how much I'm going to add to the soup. It might be too much, but that's okay. I can tell you that this soup came out amazing as usual. I ate it all week long, so the amount of cheese I added was definitely not a problem. Now to put the finishing touches on the sausage and peppers, I'm just going to add some pepper in there, and then I'm going to add the red sauce. On this night, I used this jar of red sauce for the sausage and peppers, and then I also used it for the chicken parm. I kind of cheated a little bit on the chicken parm. I didn't make a nice homemade red sauce or whatever. I just used the jar, and it made tonight so much easier. Now I'm going to make that roux that I was telling you all about. I am sure there is probably a reason that this is put where it is in the recipe as it's written, but I have also definitely made this recipe with the roux being the first step, and then you just don't add the cheese in the first step, you add it at the very end of the soup after you have done the immersion blending. Now I'm going to get these lunch portions mixed up, and I'm doing a pretty small portion because my husband is going to eat these on hot dog buns. They are homemade hot dog buns that we keep in our freezer, and so he'll just go down and grab one of those out every morning when he packs his lunch. The last step for this soup is to hit it with an immersion blender, and the one I have is made of plastic, which I don't love, but I'm pretty sure this one belonged to my parents. Like, it was old when I was a kid, and it still works, so I'm really reluctant to part with it. Man, this thing has to be like 40 years old, and it still works perfectly fine. But anyway, I'm just going to use it to blend the soup down. You can do this as much or as little as you like. I still like some chunks in there. I just break up the big pieces of cauliflower so there's no huge bites. And now it's time to store this soup. If you have never stored soup in a mason jar, it is a game changer. I used to just do it in a container with a lid, and I would get so frustrated because it just gets really gross. You know, it like drips over the side when you're trying to get some out, and then the lid clicks down over the soup. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. I can't stand it. But this is so great because you just pour it out and pop the lid back on. And then also you go through the jars faster. So if a jar does get gross, it's only like 1 or 2 servings in that jar and it's over sooner. All right, and that is a wrap. For this chicken, we don't quite need this just yet. My husband has a couple burgers that he's gonna finish in the next couple days for his lunches. So we will probably serve this over lettuce and rice, but I will prep that in a couple days, closer to. I just wanted to get the protein done now while I'm in the kitchen dirtying everything. And then, like I said, my husband will eat these on buns that are downstairs in the freezer already. So whenever I cook hamburger buns or hot dog buns or anything like that, I always cook a huge batch, and then we store them in these beeswax bags that keep them fresh and free of plastic. And then I have these soups here. There are also some nights where we cook something really quick for the kids, like mac and cheese or chicken tenders or something like that, and it would be so much nicer to grab something like this out in a pinch. So that will serve us well for that too. Okay, thank you all so much for joining. I have to cook dinner now, so I'm gonna get this all cleaned up